July already. The title said was to open the summer fun for you guys to enjoy. And for our last show
Hello, Williamson County. I'm Carrie Hudson, and welcome to It's About You, an informational program about the classes, activities, and special events of the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department. Well, the holidays are in full swing in Williamson County, and if you are looking for great gift ideas for the holiday season, consider giving the gift of health. An annual pass to the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department is the gift they'll use year-round. Who wouldn't appreciate an annual pass good for 12 months of facility use at any local recreation center? All county annual pass holders receive unlimited use of state-of-the-art wellness centers, gymnasiums, walking tracks, plus open and lap swimming in indoor and outdoor pools across the county. Annual passes can be purchased and used at our recreation facilities in Brentwood, Fairview, Franklin, and Spring Hill. All county annual passes for Williamson County residents are just $225 for a family, $160 for a senior family for members ages 55 and older, $150 for a single youth or adult, and $100 for a single senior. Williamson County Parks and Recreation also offers gift certificates that are available in any denomination and can be used like cash for passes and most classes at primary recreation centers. Some restrictions and special circumstances do apply, and other pass pricing options are also available. So stop by the front desk of any main recreation facility for more information about annual passes and gift certificates, and finish your holiday shopping in one stop. The new year is just around the corner as well, and Williamson County Parks and Recreation is here to help you with your New Year's resolutions. Whether you're looking to shed a few extra holiday pounds, because let's be honest, it happens to us all, learn to swim, start a new sport, learn a new language or how to play a musical instrument, take up a new hobby like knitting, painting, or photography, or just meet new people, the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department has a dynamic list of programming and excellent facilities to help you meet and complete yours and your family's resolutions in the new year. So again, visit one of our facilities, or for more information on our amenities and programming options, log on to our website at www.wcparksandrec.com. Well, as one year draws to an end and a new one begins, we want to take a few minutes to recap the past year and talk about a few new projects and programs coming up in 2013. Joining me today is our Department Director, Mr. Doug Hood, to talk about these topics. Mr. Hood, thank you for joining us.
Morning, Carrie. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's always a pleasure to have you here today, and we appreciate you taking some time to kind of talk to us about some of the projects that you are currently working on and that are on the horizon for the Parks and Recreation Department.
Happy to do that. I got a little excited there listening to all the great things that we were getting ready to do for the next year, so I'm ready.
There's so much to do with this department, and one of the things that we constantly do is try to educate and inform the public about the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department. Living in Williamson County, there are people who move here on a continuing basis, so we're always trying to educate our new residents, as well as keeping our current residents up to date with everything that we have to offer. And so in doing so today, I just want to remind people about the mission of Williamson County Parks and Recreation, which is simply to provide quality recreation and leisure services to the residents of Williamson County as well as our surrounding neighbors. A lot of people don't always know or think, because of the type of facility and amenities that we offer, because we are compared to private organizations a lot, that our amenities and our programs are open to the general public.
They are, and it is the goal of the department to offer affordable parks and recreation facilities and services to all of our residents so that they can enjoy a healthy lifestyle. And obviously that's part of the reason that we work so hard at this, is to continue to maintain being the #1 healthiest county in the state of Tennessee. And we take great pride in that, as do our commission and our mayor. It's very important that we offer these things for our residents to partake and look toward a healthier lifestyle as 2013 comes back. And it's like you said, everybody, when the New Year's resolutions start, we want to help people stick to those.
Exactly.
And if they don't, we'll help you in some other way.
Well, you can
It's
always start
okay.
again.
And that's right, you can always come back. That's right.
Well, in talking a little bit about the goal of the Parks and Recreation Department, how we make that happen, I want to talk a little bit about the structure of the department.
Okay.
Our department is comprised of 6 separate divisions. There's administration, athletics and aquatics, facilities, parks, programming, and then our seniors and therapeutics division. There's a lot of different activities and areas that we touch, and it takes a very large staff to pull this all together. I don't think that a lot of people realize how large of an employer that we are. We're probably one of the largest in the county.
We have over 1,000 employees, full and part-time. There are 80 full-time, about 300 to 400 permanent part-time. And then, of course, we have summer programs and staff for that. We have instructors, umpires, everybody falls under that category. So we do employ a lot of people. We also are a revenue producing department. We do about between $3.7 and $4 million a year in revenue. We cover our entire operating budget except for salaries. So we work very hard to do that and make sure that we're carrying our load for the county and to make sure that we're doing it being fiscally responsible. When you break everything down total county-wise with the budget, we're about 1.4% of the entire budget, which is unheard of for the kind of services that we offer.
Right. Right. And going back to one of your points earlier about offering affordable recreation and leisure services to the residents of Williamson County, we all know that people face tough economic decisions all the time about what they can and cannot afford. And, we just want to let everyone know that you don't have to sacrifice your health, your happiness, or your hobbies to have recreation and leisure services in your life. A lot of what we do is meant to be very economical, affordable, and something that individuals and families can participate in. And going back to what you were saying earlier about the cost of our annual passes, we try to keep those low for families so that they're able to have exercise and health and wellness in their life, a place for their kids to go after school or in the summers, and different types of activities that they can participate in.
And you've heard me speak before too at a lot of different places, and one of the things that I always tell people is when you look at how great Williamson County is, our schools, our parks, our roads, a great place for you to worship and play, a well-rounded community. I tell my friends because I think it's kind of known I grew up in Florida, and I tell my friends when like, what is this like living here? And I said, well, have you been to Disney World? If you go down Main Street in Franklin, or if you see the park areas in Brentwood, if you take a country drive out to Fairview, if you go to Leapers Fork, all these great things that are about Williamson County, where you can get the idea of being in the city, of having all the amenities that come along with that, because you can drive 15 miles and see a Titans game, and hopefully someday again the Predators.
A Predators game.
The Predators game. You can catch AAA baseball. There's college sports with Vanderbilt. You can go to Belmont, Lipscomb. It's just a great place to live. Well, part of making a great place to live is having a great Parks and Recreation department, because the majority of our residents treat this as a necessity. They don't treat it as an amenity. They look at it as this is part of what a great lifestyle is in Williamson County. And I can't imagine living any other place, and I'm so proud of the staff from what we and mostly they have accomplished in the last 20 years. And I've been fortunate to work for 3 really good guys who were county executives and county mayor, and Bob Rain, Clint Callicott, and now Rogers Anderson. And I've been so blessed to be able to do that because they understand the importance of Parks and Recreation. They understand that I know I treat it as a business and run it as a business, and what it provides for our residents. There's nothing better when you see families come into our rec centers and one of them goes to the basketball area and the other one goes to play racquetball, and moms or dads in there working out on the wellness centers and somebody's swimming in the pool. And it's just, it is what Williamson County is about, and we're thrilled to be part of it.
Absolutely. And then going along with what we were talking about earlier with annual passes and things like that, I want to talk a little bit about some of our different forms of admission. I think there's usually a disconnect in some people because, again, a lot of people do tend to compare us to private-owned businesses or private health and wellness clubs about what we do, what we offer, and how people access those amenities. And really just want to let people know how truly easy it really is.
And let me say something about that. I want to make a comment about that. I think it's great that there are other avenues for you to choose from. I think choice is a great thing. But it is our responsibility to treat the taxpayers in a positive way by the money that we are allowed to spend or given to us through the commission and the county mayor to use it wisely and be a strong proponent of having a great fiduciary responsibility. So we're able to offer these low prices because our goal is to make sure everybody has an opportunity to do that, to be able to exercise, to be able to come to the programs. That's why we do this. If you choose to go someplace else, that is certainly your business and what you should do if that's where you feel like you want to be. But our goal is to make sure everyone has an opportunity, whether you happen to be in a position where you have extra income, disposable income, or whether you need some type of assistance. Our job is to serve our residents, and that is the difference between us and a private industry.
Yes, it is. But talking a little bit about how people use our facilities, can use our amenities, like we mentioned earlier, our facilities are open to the general public. Anyone can participate in our programs,
Right.
activities, classes, or special events. And with how we structure our facility use, you basically pay for what you want to do, and you pay as you go. There's really no onset that you have to make a certain payment at a certain time of a month or at a certain
Right.
time of a year. It's really your choice in how you use it. We'll start off with daily admission. You know, for people who would just want to come in and use the amenities in a facility like the wellness centers, gymnasiums, racquetball courts, indoor and outdoor pools, indoor walking tracks, things like that. We offer daily admission rates that vary from $1 to $3 for a Williamson County youth, adult, or a senior.
What a deal.
What? I know.
Oh.
$1? Really?
Yeah.
$1.
But you got to be my age to get the dollar. So.
Then we also offer multi-visit passes in 10 and 30 visit increments. A 10-visit multi-visit pass is only $20. A 30-visit pass is typically $60. So each of these multi-visit passes are giving you us a little bit of a break off just the regular daily admission rate. But in the month of January, we'll be doing a special promotion selling our 30-visit passes for just $30. That is 30 unique visits to any Williamson County Parks and Recreation facility for only $1 a visit. And the great thing about these multi-visit passes, they never expire. They are good for a certain number of visits to any Williamson County Parks and Recreation facility whenever you want to use them. They're also transferable to family and friends if you would like to bring a guest with you to the facility, and they can be used across the county at our locations in Brentwood, Fairview, Franklin, and Spring Hill. Annual passes are also available, and we talked about those and their price options a little bit earlier in the show. But again, in the new year, during the month of January, we'll be offering a special discount on the already reasonable price of these annual passes. And to first-time annual pass buyers, as well as renewing annual pass holders, we'll be offering a special $25 discount on the on the price of your annual pass. And that's just our way of saying thank you for your support of Williamson County Parks and Recreation, and the opportunity of giving us the privilege of serving you and helping you meet your fitness and wellness as well as your recreational needs. Again, making it affordable, making it accessible, making it something people want to be a part of.
It's a great deal.
It is.
No question about it.
It really, really is. Well, we also want to spend some time today talking about a lot of the projects that you have going on right now. And I know that you're dealing a lot with several different land projects that we want to talk about a little bit. You know, a lot of times people associate Williamson County Parks and Recreation with our day-to-day operations. And on an ongoing basis, we are basically a programming avenue for Williamson County. We offer active forms of recreational services. Athletic leagues, instructional classes, swimming lessons, therapeutic programs, those types of things. But there's also a lot that you work on a daily basis, doing more passive projects, securing land and other things like that for maybe some bigger parks coming in the future. We do want to get into some of those projects, but we do need to take a quick break. Y'all stay tuned. When we come back, we'll be talking about the future of Williamson County Parks and Recreation.
Time in school, it pays. Did you know that high school graduates earn more money than those who drop out? If you drop out of high school, you may earn only $18,000 a year. Finish high school and you can add another $8,000 a year to your paycheck. Add up the difference, and adults with a high school diploma will earn over $250,000 more than a high school dropout. Time in school, it pays. This Choose Success moment has been brought to you by the Middle Tennessee P16 Council.
Welcome back to It's About You. We're talking today with Williamson County Parks and Recreation Director, Mr. Doug Hood. And before we left for our break, we were starting to talk about some of the new things on the horizon, some of the things to look forward to in the growth of the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department. And we were talking about how we provide a lot of recreation services across the county, but you are actively working on actually trying to build some passive parks in the county as well, and looking into several different land projects, acquiring land, which we all know is a fixed asset. They're not making any more of it. So you kind of have to shore it up when you can so that you have something to grow and develop in the future. So let's talk a little bit about the land projects. Talk to us about Timberland Park. That's our land that we have off the Natchez Trace.
It is. We've acquired about between 75 and 80 acres off the Natchez Trace. We've owned it for several years, and when we knew that it would be an area that would be truly a passive area that could be used by people who travel the Trace, and also including Williamson County residents. What we were doing out there is building an interpretive center, and from that we will be able to identify Tennessee plant life, trees, all of that, and then there are walking trails that go off from the building and take off down through the park in a system where it is basically walking in very, very laid back. There will not be any athletic facilities out there of any kind. And we're doing this through a grant, which is great. We have won or been awarded 2 or 3 grants that we have gotten to do this project. We're going to do it with some solar power in the building. You know, it's just very exciting. We're going in the classroom. We hope that Williamson County Schools will use and bring elementary school children out there, where you can sit in the building inside, and also a little amphitheater seating style outside, and basically explain about Tennessee, the nature trail, the history of the Trace, all of those things that go along with that. So this is moving along. We have identified everything that we need to get the project moving a little faster. So and I hope I don't sound like I'm being a little vague, but I don't want to give out information that hasn't completely been determined yet regarding some of the funding and when the grant is awarded.
Definitely. While there's
but it's
still a
going
work
to be
in
fun.
progress.
Right, it is, and I mean it should be done within the next year. I mean,
It'd be wonderful to see.
yeah, it is. It's great. It's really, you know, the thing, and I've told people this before. You know, we cannot build enough athletic facilities or fields. It's impossible for us to do that because of the growth. So you have to find areas for practice and other places that we don't let people on game fields for. So, and the reason I said we could, and I guess I should kind of paraphrase that, of course we could, but it would be an exorbitant amount of money.
True.
So,
and again, being fiscally responsible.
Right, and we're trying to find out ways to be more light efficient and energy efficient on our fields because of night practices and things like that, how to save money. Electricity is a huge cost in our program.
Yes.
So we're trying to find ways and grants to save money doing that more efficient, you know, working with local providers and, you know, how to figure this out to do this and encouraging our youth associations and people who use the facilities to turn the lights off. You know, don't turn them on at 5 o'clock, you know, in the summer.
Right.
You know, turn them off when you don't stand out there and talk to your buddies for a half hour. When you're done, turn them off. You know, there's a lot of restaurants here that you can go and visit afterwards, but we really are trying to find ways and encouraging our participants to make sure that they do that. But, you know, the key to this is that it goes back to, again, the philosophy that I've always had as the director is that to provide facilities for everyone, because everyone doesn't kick the soccer ball and everybody doesn't swing the bat. You know, people find solace and peace of leisure in walking the trail, sitting on a park bench, reading a book, you know, throwing a frisbee. There's a lot of things that you do that doesn't require the athletic tag next to it, and I think it's our responsibility to do that, as is with the arts. I mean, it's what makes a well-rounded community. So, and I didn't mean to get too far away from Timberland, but that's kind of the philosophy behind that let's create trails that encourage people to exercise, but do it in a passive way.
Well, in lines with Timberland, the county also acquired, I think it ended up being a little over 300 acres.
Bending Chestnut.
Yes, Bending Chestnut, kind of what is that, west?
It's out by
Williamson County?
840 off of Pinewood.
Off of Pinewood, yeah.
As a matter of fact, 840 runs through our park above
That'd be
it.
very nice.
So we're kind of
That's great accessibility.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of challenged about how we're going to develop this, but we've worked very closely with TDOT, and we will. This will be a long-term project. This park, but also it's going to be passive. It's full of walking trails and nature setting and streams and waterfalls and all kinds of areas that will invoke people to want to get involved in nature and be involved in the preservation of land in Williamson County. We hope, as time goes on, to have a lodge out there one day. We want to have some cabins out there in a really serene, peaceful park setting.
Environment.
Yeah, and it's a different kind of project too, with the lay of the land. I
True.
mean, there's not a lot of giant open fields. I mean, it's more of getting down into nature and walking the trails through the the ravines and next to a stream and next to a waterfall. And I mean, I love the idea of us being able to do this, but like anything else, it's going to take time and take money while we're trying to service everybody.
But again, the great thing is that we have the land.
Right.
It's there to use when we're ready.
Yeah, because they don't make any more of that. So
That's right. That's right. Talking a little bit about the arts, you mentioned the performing arts just a few minutes ago. The county also acquired some of the old Battleground Academy campus off of Columbia Avenue several years ago.
Not some of it.
Oh, all of it.
All of it.
Excuse
Right.
me.
That's all right.
But tell us a little bit about what are the plans for that. I know there was a task force
There was a task force.
assimilated to get public feedback about what should go into that.
And let me explain something to people about these task force, because they are a valuable tool for us. And I know that everybody would like for them, after you come up with a plan, that it just starts next. And what we've always done through Mayor Rogers Anderson's advice and really it works great, is that we've got a plan. Now, where do we put that plan in place with the rest of the projects? But we want the task force members so we've had several of these, and I've been fortunate enough to serve on 2 or 3 of them and share a couple of them for the mayor, that they have really been valuable for us and help us in determining what costs, what the fiscal responsibility is going to be, because that is the most important thing for us to make sure when I go to the commissioner, go back to the mayor, where does this fall in the plan to do this? In the overall plan. So please, if you have served or are going to serve on them, don't be discouraged. We couldn't do this without you. We want citizen input, but it just takes time for us to get this going and finding the money to fund it, because we fund schools first.
Right.
That's what we do. And after doing that, then we have to see what is left that can be distributed out to serve the rest of the residents. And the schools are the people move here, that the great job market here, the great work that Matt Largent did when he was the economic development director, the planning that Joe Horn's department does, hopefully we fit in there someplace that people want to move here because of Parks and Recreation. If you look at every department in this county that serves under the mayor, everybody contributes. We couldn't build a park without the stuff that solid waste does.
The highway department.
Yeah, the highway department. I mean, that's where I'm going from here, is the next meeting with the highway department. It's a contribution that everybody makes. The great thing about the vacant land projects are that we will be able to determine as time goes on what we want to put on the properties that we've acquired. Let's talk like the 300 acres. The great thing about that is we know what the task force would like, and by the time we get to develop it, that may change some. I mean, we may be able to look at new amenities and things that go on there. The BGA project, which we know they would like to have a senior citizen facility on it, as well as a community theater, that could change. And one of the great things that's happened is the school system has started building smaller theaters for their campuses. So what we're hoping to do is look at that project and see if that's not something that would save us money and serve us as well in putting it in a recreation facility.
Again, working with our own county departments,
Right.
All coming together to complete one goal. Another vacant land project to talk about is the old Nolensville Recreation Center. We've actually begun work on converting that into a recreation amenity for the people in the east end of Williamson County.
Right, it's a joint partnership with the town of Nolensville, and it really is exciting. We've started the tear down for us. We've got park staff out there, and we've got the facility staff out there, and we are in in a position basically to tear down part of the older building, look at the safety issues there, and then move to the other side where we're going to develop the center. And we're hoping sometime in 14 to get it open and have a full-fledged recreation complex in the Nolensville area, which and I want to reiterate, it's wonderful these municipalities, which we've done in almost every area, have become partners and put up half of their portion for it. And then the great thing for them is once they put that up, we take them and operate them and do all that. So it's not a reoccurring cost for the municipality.
It's a one-time contribution,
right?
And they get some excellent, well-run and maintained parks and recreation amenities in their towns, and their communities, their cities.
What we've been told and think, obviously ourselves, is that they're getting the best parks and recreation department in the state of Tennessee. So
absolutely. And talking a little bit about the Nolensville Recreation Center, I mean, it's going to be a full-fledged resource. It's going to have wellness centers, programming rooms, group fitness classes, a dance studio for kids, art and crafts rooms, general instruction rooms,
senior
citizens. Therapeutics.
Right.
I mean, for everybody,
yeah.
And
really, an outdoor pool.
And an outdoor pool,
right.
That's right, and an outdoor pool, which will be a lovely amenity for that
right.
community. I know that this particular portion of Williamson County, I mean, we've wanted to address for several years. It took a while for the time, the money, and the right circumstances to come together.
Right.
But with opening Osborne Park this fall, their
in
new
the Nolensville area.
In the Nolensville area, and starting work on the Nolensville Community Center. This really kind of rounds out Williamson County Parks and Recreation. We're in the north, south, east, west. Everywhere
right.
you want to be in Williamson County, we're there.
I think after you see Nolensville develop the community center up and running, that'll probably be, I know for sure in my tenure, that'll be the last community center for a while. Mm-hmm. Now the next director, obviously will be their choice how they do that, but my direction then will be, for me, will be toward developing the vacant places that we have and start talking about that. And I've had a 20+ year passion of wanting to get a community theater and children's theater built, and hopefully I'll do that before my time before I'm done. So, but it is going to be a different challenge for us as we move toward a more passive kind of look at some of this. Mm-hmm. And then we've got to, at some point we've got to address just buying a big piece of property that is able to provide athletic practice facilities in soccer and flag football for kids. I think we've had some talk about rugby. We've got
the list could go
lacrosse.
on and on.
Well, lacrosse is huge here.
Yes, it
so
really is.
There's a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot that needs to be done, and we'll certainly stay on task to do that. So.
Well, sir, I want to thank you for taking the time to come in today and sharing a glimpse of the future with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Carrie. I always enjoy this.
Well, and as we close today, I want to take a moment to wish you and yours a very safe and happy holiday season. Over the holidays, we will have a series of facility and amenity closures. You can get more information on that, as well as our New Year's resolution, past discounts, and other activities for the Parks and Recreation Department by visiting our website at wcparksandrec.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the new year. Until then, remember, Williamson County, it's all about you.
So much has gone by already, so I